Scarlett this morning, and we are making a quick trip down to Southwest Florida to our old stomping grounds, just to see some old friends, and we're going to stay a few nights at Koreshan State Park. So we haven't been there in a long time. We used to tent camp there a lot many years ago, so it should be a fun night, fun time. This is so beautiful out here. We are just north of LaBelle, and we're just admiring all of this beautiful old Florida cattle land that's out here. Acres and acres and acres. This is real Florida. So Dr. Cyrus Teed was the founder of the Koreshan Unity, and he established in 1893 his College of Life in Estero, Florida. But one of their beliefs was that we live inside of the Earth's sphere. So when we are looking up into the sky, that would actually be the inside of the outside of the earth, if that makes sense. And we all lived down inside the middle of the earth. So this building was the Koreshan Bakery, built in 1903. Just a little bit inside the bakery. Kind of hard to see through this glass, but pretty interesting. This cottage was the Lillian Vesta Newcomb Cottage. She was one of the teachers for the kids here in the Koreshan Unity. Let's take a look inside. Ah, it's beautiful. This would be the living area. Let me get over here on this side. And this would be her bedroom area. This was the Conrad Schlender Cottage. He was a machinist, and his main duties here at the Unity, though, consisted of farming and caring for the Koreshan cattle herd, which was quite large by 1920. He moved in here during the Depression era, and he remained here until his death, which was in 1965. Cute cottage. I love stuff like this. These historical places and cottages. Very strange story, though. We've spotted another gopher tortoise. One of the things that we miss most about Southwest Florida is we don't really get to see a whole lot of the gopher tortoises up in Central Florida where we're at. Hey, buddy. Okay, this is the coup de grace of this whole place. And this is where the planetary court lived. And It was basically home to 7 women, and they were the governing body of the Koreshan unity. Some of their pictures are here, as well as other people in the governing part of this unity. This is, to me, quite creepy. And this is where we're camping for the night, so ought to be interesting. The Planetary Council. Okay, this is part of where the Planetary Council lived. There's one room. It's one big house. You see some big stairway thing back there. Here's another one. And by the way, if you were part of the Koreshan unity, you were required to be celibate. So I guess that would explain why everybody died out.
Probably at least 50%.
Picked 7 women is because at the time there were only 7 known planets.
Well, that would make sense then.
So do you know what was the biggest population that ever lived here that were?
Around 250. He hoped for 10,000. There's a picture of his
remember.
city, but my understanding is about 250.
Here's another gopher tortoise. We love them so much. Right here at the ranger station. So we had to come back since our campsite wasn't ready yet and get checked in. And here he is, just waiting for us.
Tortoise right out after you come through the ranger station, check in at Koreshan State Park. We love tortoises. Okay, we're down at the boat ramp here at Koreshan State Park, and this river is very accessible to us here at the campground. Hello, Sonia. And they used to have a bunch of kayaks and canoes out here to rent, but I don't see any right now. But right up the river here is the Estero Outfitters, which you can rent kayaks and canoes. And this river is just awesome to kayak on. Anyway, we're gonna go get in our site now, and we'll check with you later. There's Miss Scarlett up there waiting on us.
We have a great little campsite here. Thank you, Rachel, for the beautiful sign. Miss Scarlett looks good here. Oh, we've got quite a large Class A coming in here. This is our campsite for the next 3 nights. I think it's great. We got some firewood. Hopefully later tonight we'll have a campfire. A seating area. It's a camp stove, even though we have a nice little kitchen inside. Dwight likes to cook on the camp stove. And straight back there is the river. So that's great. We have little small rods and reels, and we're gonna pull them out and try to get in a little fishing while we're here. Okay, this is what's behind our campsite. Just a little tiny short walk through the woods. And the river is beautiful, and we have this access, and we have 2 new little rods and reels that we can carry in the van, compact size. So we're gonna see if we can get our fishing on tomorrow. This is beautiful. This is like a little campfire area where they do projections and talks and things like that. Pretty cool. Little sitting area. Right now we're taking the river trail. It's just so beautiful back in here, and you just walk right along the river the whole way and over to the historic settlement where we were at yesterday. And it looks like we're coming up on a different trail, the Blue Trail. That's the one we actually set out to do. I guess we're gonna do both. So we are doing some geocaching in Koreshan Park, and it has brought us to this absolutely beautiful bamboo forest. It's just gorgeous.
It's beautiful out here. Bamboo forest, rest stops, geocaches, the river.
So we were geocaching and we had some crazy hints, and we finally found this, which is a micro container for a geocache. So if you don't know about geocaching, there's probably a little log in there that you sign, take a picture, and you mark that you found it. So there he is, scared me to death. So we're still exploring today, and we just came across this beautiful bridge. It's gonna take us over to see a few buildings that we didn't go in yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? This is more of the working area of the settlement. And this was a machine shop. Little cash register there. Wow. Milwaukee Mechanics. Pretty cool. Is called the Cast Iron Cafe. Don't really know if it was truly a cafe, although there are some cooking things here. And this stove is amazing. It's called the Cleveland Range stove, and it is now fully functional since about 10 years ago, when the volunteers and the people that work here restored it and got it back to where it's actually working. This kitchen was actually located on the side of the big dining hall that's no longer here. But this stove was built around the turn of the 20th century. Pretty interesting. This is another machine shop, but it's really interesting because all of this equipment, all this machinery here that you can see was run off of this huge belt and pulley system up here on the top of the building that ran all of this machinery, saws and sanders, you name it.
Okay, we're gonna head down the Blue Trail now. See where that takes us. It's a beautiful day here in South Florida, and we are having a blast. Good morning. Beautiful morning here in Southwest Florida.
Right, we found our fishing place. At least I did. Dwight's walked on up to see if he can find another one so that we're not so close here casting our lines. Anyway, how beautiful is this? Don't know if we'll catch anything or not, but it really doesn't matter. It's called fishing, not catching.
Oops, he went back in. Hey buddy, we didn't mean to scare you.
We're standing in a bamboo forest here at Koreshan State Park. Wanted to see if maybe you could pick up the sound of the bamboo blowing in the wind. This is some really good beef stew that we made in the crock pot here at the campsite. It's yummy. Back home to Celebration, Florida, and I just want to say we had a fabulous time at Koreshan State Park. Great campsites, great history, some good fishing, and until the next time, see you then.